So I wanted to do a quick tortilla recipe. I don't even know if I do it right. It works for me. I've started doing it like the Mexican parents do it, where they don't even have a measurement anymore. I started with the recipe from Mexico in my kitchen. Not the one with cup measurements, but the one with grams measurements. I don't know if that's like the Spanish version or something. But this is the recipe that she had, which is kind of like the one that I was given by my family, which is 1,000 grams, which is 1 kilogram to 250 grams, 1,000 grams of flour per 250 grams of lard. That's like 1 kilogram of flour to 1/4 kilogram of lard. And if you want to do less, you can do less. I just like it because then I can like shorten it, make it bigger, depending, you know, these are easy conversions. For the lard, a lot of people use the manteca, this one. I don't know if it makes a difference, but I don't like the BHA and all these other things that they add. So I get this one from the markets. There's one that does have the BHA, and this one just says ingredients, pork fat, and salt. So this is the one I get, but it's a little bit more liquidy, watery. So I adjust for that. I do a little bit less lard than the recipe calls for. So let's do this. I'm gonna measure. But yeah, in about, I like to measure because I'm not a baker. I've never been able to get good tortillas. And one thing I learned about flour is that it retains like moisture in the air, water. And so if you've had it longer, it weighs more. If it's different density. So by cups, I never get the right consistency, but by weight, I seem to always be able to get it. Let me see, is this grams already? Let's see. I'm just gonna do it on my end. I'm gonna measure, let's see how much. I'm gonna zero it out. Measure. That is 505. And I'm gonna do the 1,000 because we eat a lot of tortillas. And also I prepare ahead of time, and then I prepare ahead of time, and then I freeze the tortilla balls, and I pull them out as I need them. That way I only make one big batch, waste my time doing this, and then just pull out every other day, depending how much tortillas we're eating at the time. And then I'm gonna measure out. See, that's 1,000 grams. I'm gonna measure. Come on, zero. Okay, there. 250. Let's see if I have enough. I don't think I will. No, I'm not gonna have enough for 250. Dang it. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to mix. Let's see. See if I can get to at least 250. to at least 2 something.
Minecraft, it's every person for themselves.
$2.10. I don't know if I should risk it. Dang it, tortillas. Maybe I'll pull a little bit out. Because even with this, I think as little as I can do is 225 maybe. It's at 214 right now. I'm going to pull out a little bit of flour out. You guys follow the recipe. I'm pinching here. I mean, I'm sure I could do it scientifically and take out the portion that I need, you know, based on my handy dandy calculations, but I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna show you. Basically, you put the lard in there. And actually, you put the salt and stuff beforehand. I'm not a YouTuber, guys. I put, for this amount, I put about a tablespoon, a little bit less, because I like mine a little salty. And then they would always tell me, just a pinch of this. And for me, this was the scariest thing to add, because I only add a little bit. I think some people add like half a teaspoon, or I add like maybe 1/4 of it. Maybe a little bit more. Just because this, I've noticed, the baking powder is what makes the tortillas get a little hard after they dry. You know, I like mine to stay soft to be able to reheat them, but even though they rise really well with this, they get really hard, crispy. Like, they're not soft once they're into a taco. Now I'm gonna mix, and that's why I was so fearful of doing tortillas whenever I first started, was because I've tried so many different tortillas, and some are just perfect, buttery, soft, reheatable, like grandma's, and then some are like, you just take them out of the stove and they're already like breaking up. So you just want to mix. My mom was very special about this part. She would tell me, needs to have no clumps. You have to make sure all the flour and all the lard is perfectly combined. She would do this. She's like, if you see any clumps, you haven't done it right. But I don't know if that makes a difference. Yeah, you just want to make sure that the lard is perfectly incorporated into every little grain of flour. I'm really wondering how this is going to come out with such little lard. everybody has their different little mixing techniques. I've done it in the machine. It's easy. I don't have to do this. I don't have to worry about it. I just leave it on. Mix, 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 mix. And then, the water part is coming up. See, now it's like clumping up, but pretty much it's like moon sand. Everything is like, if you squeeze it, it stays together. I think with more lard, it would be a little bit more hard. I mean, my mom would have said not enough. Keep going. But she's not making a video. And then the crazy part. So my mom used to always make a little hole in the middle. Not that it ever made a difference to me, but and the water, don't be afraid of it. They have a specific measurement of water. I think this would be like 2 cups, and it usually is 2 cups, but go with however your flour feels. So you start with hot water. This one might be too hot, but my mom would say as hot as you can take it. Ugh, that's too hot. Can't take it. I think that might actually be cooking the flour. So, let me see. That's better. Now you mix. Mix your flour in the water. Keep adding little by little whenever it starts getting too dry. And this is the part that it's hard for me in the machine, just because as I'm mixing, I can feel that it needs more water. But in the machine, I have to add it ahead of time. Sometimes it's too little, sometimes it's too much, because I can't feel it as it's going. Yes, baby. Don't worry if it ends up, don't worry if it ends up a little bit on the wet side, because whenever you go to roll out the dough, you have to add more flour. So whenever you add more flour, you don't feel like it won't end up extra dry. It'll just be just right. fold and fold and fold. I think that's a good, I don't think I need to add any more water. It feels doughy. It's holding together. Now all of these little clumpies, you're just gonna have to knead them out. But I think water is good. Read that the gluten is what keeps it stretchy, and gluten is made from flour and water being kneaded together. So the more you knead it, the more gluten that's gonna come out of your flour. The stretchier it'll be, the more they'll fluff up. They say that, hey, you know how much your mother-in-law loves you by how much your tortillas get puffy. It's in the gluten. So after that, you're just gonna leave, I mean, if you can, because I'm gonna use it right now. You're gonna leave it in here, and you're gonna you can cover it up with a rag so that the air doesn't get in there, but still does flow. Wait for about an hour till everything gets all the flour gets all the water, soaks it, takes it, and then it'll be a little bit more more flexible. After that, you're gonna fold them into little balls. I like mine decent size. I don't want them too small. And so what we used to do is we just would do all of the dough into balls and then put it in like a Tupperware or something. What you can do is fill up, like if you don't use that much at one time, fill up little balls in here, put it in the freezer. They keep really, really well. You just take them out into the fridge when you're ready. They thaw out and they cook just the same as fresh ones. Once you have your ball, I have a shaker with the Parmesan cheese lid. It's just a mason jar. Then you put it in here, squish it, and then took me a long time to be able to get my tortillas decent circle. It usually look like maps, but the key is flipping often. And I don't use these right here. I just do the middle. I feel like it's an even pressure. And there you go. I like to make mine thin and big. It makes me feel like I'm eating more tortilla with less. Some people do them thicker. And that's it. You just put them in a pan like this. And that's it. La la la. Hope it helps.